What's up, everybody? My name's Tommy and this is Small and Fun. I'm back today with a follow-up video as promised. Well, I got the hiccups. I didn't promise a follow-up video, but I did promise that I was going to set the valve lash on this engine really quick. But yesterday when I made the video, I didn't have my feeler gauges with me. So, as promised, I brought them home from work and you just have to deal with the hiccups because I can't get them to go away. And we're going to set the valve lash on this engine today. As you saw in the video yesterday, or if you didn't watch, yesterday we put the stage 1 kit on there, which includes the high flow air filter kit with the blue adapter. We put the new jet into the carburetor, and we put 22-pound valve springs in. My thumbs are still kind of sore from that. There's a couple tricks that I wish I would have learned before I took that endeavor, but nonetheless they are put in, and I'm really excited to do it to the Candy Rat so I can see how it works. Excuse the hiccups. Like I said, I've never ridden on a go-kart with bigger valve springs. I've never got to experience that mod, so I'm pretty excited. But without further ado, let's get through this intro and then we're going to jump in. Alright guys, once again, please excuse my hiccups. I'm going to try this at an odd angle, but it shouldn't be too difficult. And if it proves to be too difficult, then I will switch my angle and we'll get it done right. But anyways, you need to take off these valve cover bolts and gain access to your rockers and your valve springs, and that's going to be your first step. If this is the first video you're watching excuse me, and you want to find out how to put the valve springs in, then you should go back to the previous video where I show how to put them in. I also show how to install the stage 1 kit on a Predator 212. I'm sure this looks pretty goofy, experimenting with different camera angles, and more so experimenting with working at goofy angles. I can already tell you that this is hurting my back because I worked all night, and being at a funny angle is not what I seem to want to be doing right now. Yeah, once we get this valve cover off, I'm going to switch this up. This was a bad idea. I don't know why I decided to do it this way. Alright, and there goes the valve cover. I'm going to figure out a better angle here, and we're going to get back to it. Okay, so here we are, staring down at the valve springs and the rockers and all of that magical funness. And like I said, what we're going to do today is we're going to adjust the valve lash. Okay, these are all finger tight from my last video so that I could do this a little bit more easier. So I could do this a little bit more easier. That's where it's going to stay. More easier. Okay, and what we do here is we're going to take our feeler gauges, and we have a certain gap between the rocker and your valve rod. Okay, and what that does is it allows the valve to open up the proper amount without being too loose, too tight. It allows your valves to open at the right time, the right amount, and all that good stuff. Okay, so my intake, which is on your intake side, is going to be set to 4/1000ths of an inch. My exhaust, which is on the side of your exhaust, is going to be set at 6/1000ths of an inch. I've done a bunch of research and I found a bunch of different numbers, and what I'm gathering is that really you should play with it and see what works best for your application. I've heard everything from run them all the way down and then till you can't rotate your push rod and then back it off 1/8 of a turn. I've heard 3/1000ths on both. I've heard a bunch of different numbers. And the person that I got these numbers from, 4 and 6/1000ths, claims that he's a Honda certified mechanic, and that's what he wanted. And then I found a thread on a forum that matched his numbers, so I've decided that those are going to be my numbers. So there's a couple of steps we need to take before we just go setting these valves to their position. We need to ensure that we are in top dead center. Okay, and we also need to make sure that there is a relief in the intake. It is a compression relief, and you need to make sure that your valve is off of that compression release. So what we're going to do is I'm going to remove this spark plug. We're going to look down in there and see when we are at top dead center, and then you're supposed to rotate it a little bit further until you see your intake valve close, which means it is off of the compression release. Alright guys, so I've gotten the tool that Predator gives you to remove your spark plugs, and I've done that for a couple of reasons. First and foremost, my spark plug socket is out in the garage and it's still super cold outside, so that's the most important reason why I have this. Another less important reason is sometimes it's good to try out the tools that come with equipment so you can tell if they're worth anything, you know. So yeah, mostly because it's super cold outside and I just didn't feel like going to get my spark plug socket. So now let's see if we can, this is an old Predator, so I don't know how jammed in this spark plug is. We'll see. It appears to be really, really tight. Okay, well, there we go. So I've broken loose the spark plug, and for our purposes, the tool that Predator gives you to remove your spark plug does work. It does indeed work, and to my surprise, the spark plug actually looks pretty good for an engine that was run with no governor and no heavy valve springs for quite a while. Okay, so I have verified that my cylinder is at top dead center. It's right there. My piston, I think I said cylinder, but I mean piston. So my piston is at top dead center. I have good play in both of my rockers. And what I'm going to do now is take my feeler gauge that I had determined earlier, 4 thousandths for my intake, and I'm going to slide this in here like so. Okay, now I'm going to tighten this adjustment nut to where I can feel a little bit of hesitation, a little bit of friction, if you will, but not locked down like that. Okay, so I think that is about good. That's locked down. Okay. I've always heard it is good to leave this in here whenever you tighten up your adjustment screw and your lock screw. So I will do that. Whoops. Okay, I like where that's at. I've got my trusty 10mm socket here, and this is where it's going to get kind of crazy. I should go to my garage and get a 14mm wrench to hold this adjustment nut, but I'm going to try to do it like this because it's super cold outside. Okay, I like that. I like where that's at. So now we move on to the exhaust side, which we are going to do to 6 thousandths. I keep grabbing the wrong wrench. There's other YouTubers out there that make this look really easy. Sorry guys, I'm not one of the makes it look really easy guys. All right, I got that one where I like it. holy cow, it worked. If only I could say the same for this other one. I mean, it worked. I just, oh man, doing this stuff after a long night of work is not fun. It's still fun, but it's not fun. You know what I be saying? I smell what I'm stepping in. Okay, that one is in. I'm going to try to tighten this one up just to make myself feel better a little bit. Please tell me that worked. All right. Okay, so there you have it. We have set our valve lash to 4/1000ths on the intake side and 6/1000ths on the exhaust side. I will let you know how it works out. But now we can see the valves working. Yeehaw. And yeah, that's pretty dang cool. Spark plug looks good, which is amazing. We'll put that back in using our sweet tool that Predator gives us for the engine, for the spark plug. Okay. Spark plugs in. Now we just put our valve cover back on.
Alright. Snug them down. This time enough so it won't leak oil. Make sure you go diagonally to make sure everything seats evenly. It's a good idea not to crank it all the way down on your first go. Kind of walk it back and forth diagonally. Get it to where it's touching the valve cover. And then go to a different bolt and kind of just walk it around until you get them all snugged up. That way you can ensure that you walk it down onto that main surface evenly. Alright, and now,
if everything has gone according to plan, we should have an engine that is ready to rock and roll without a governor at about 6,000 RPMs, give or take. and it should be safe to do it. And that's how you do the valve lash, guys. I hope it was helpful, and I hope I did it right. If I didn't, please leave a nice comment and let me know what I could have done better. Let me not be zoomed all the way in for one. Yeah, so if you saw something that I messed up on or something I could have done better, then just let me know, and I'll make sure to correct the situation. But now I'm going to give this a little pull, because I've heard a lot of people saying that after they did this, the pull string about ripped their arm off. So it seems to be pulling fine. All right, cool. So there you have it. We've done the valve lash. All right, guys. Like I said, just a quick job, do the valve lash. I wasn't about to run this thing before we did that. At least got some sort of adjustment on there. We can see how it runs and adjust accordingly. This is my first time doing the springs, like I said again, and I just want to make sure I got it right, but I'm super excited to get it done to both these go-karts and see how they work. I will fill you in as I figure stuff out. And yeah, that's about it. It's time for me to go to bed, even though the sun just came up an hour or two ago. The joys of night shift. So, it's that time again. If you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. If you like the channel and you want to see where it's going, then hit that subscribe button and move your finger over 1 little inch. Click that little bell so you can tell when I'm putting these videos out there. Alright guys, tell your friends, get me some more subscribers, leave a comment, let me know what you think. If I can do something better, let me know. If I did everything perfect, let me know. And we'll see you on the next go around. More videos to come. We're going to be working on the beard bucket. Just got lots of stuff going on. So yeah, that's about it, guys. Until next time.